Greetings. Hope everyone out there is doing fine this lovely evening. It's been a while since I've done this, so obviously, if you've been keeping up with me and more than likely assume that I've been hiding under a rock, well, I guess I have because life has a way of throwing curveballs at you, and sometimes you just never know when things are going to get up off the ground. So, with that being said, once again, hello. It is your friendly neighborhood Blurred from the Midwest, the Fallen Marvel, at your service. And right now, I'm just trying to get used to everything again because it's every time I start a stream, I always get nervous, and uh, just trying to make sure everything goes right, to whereas trying to make sure my mic is good and everything can be heard and I'm not just screaming out in the ether or anything like that, where I just feel like I'm just screaming out into a cave, somewhat like this, if it makes any sense. So, um, yeah, I'm just really wanting to try something a little bit different and just really get into some topics that's been really interesting to me the past. I want to I'd say probably like the last 3 weeks to kind of give my thoughts about things and where we are as far as entertainment goes and the way people have been reacting to a lot of different things. And I just felt the need to give my perspective on things, and I very much hope that anyone who's listening would appreciate that. So it's we're just gonna go ahead and chop it up and try to make sense of a lot of things. And I'm just giving myself a little bit of time here to kind of get the ring rust out. So uh can't see how many people are watching. I got a few folks watching. So if you guys are watching out there, hello. You can make yourselves known if you want or don't. You can lurk. That's fine. uh but yeah, that's just what's going on in my neck of the woods and trying to get things done in my life. And I'm rambling on, and I'm just kind of just waiting to see if my son is going to run in here and cause all kinds of chaos and whatnot. Because my son is about to be two soon, so he's very, 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 very busy as usual. So, yeah. Okay. So, I think I've had what good couple minutes of rambling on. So let's going to give a rundown of things that I wanted to talk about. Starting with what I think is kind of important. Uh, it really seems like just want to discuss about content ratings for movies and things, and why I feel a lot of people really just aren't paying attention to them. And it's I find it quite hilarious, but that's one thing I want to talk about. Also, you guys, I'm sure if you've been following, heard that they released a deleted scene from Matt Reeves' The Batman film. And I did want to talk about what my thoughts were of the film, and of course, seeing the deleted scene and give you my thoughts on that. Um, Also, there's also been, it really seems like there's been some ramping up with the Snyder fans. Uh, and if you guys have been following my channel, you guys know it's no secret that I've been critical of Zack Snyder as a filmmaker and writer and so on and so forth. So I will get into that a little bit later. And after that, I'm going to get into some gaming. Um, I may or may not discuss like a few other tidbits thing before like I hit to the gaming front. But you know that's essentially just the rundown of things and how it's going to flow and whatnot. So yeah, hope to have a lot of fun this evening, and just gotta do one quick thing and stuff, and hopefully I'll be done with that. So, how are you guys doing this fine evening? I hope not too bad. I mean, we are basically approaching what is the end of the well, we're basically approaching the end of the first quarter of the year. We're a quarter of a way through with 2022 already. How about that, right? So, that's what's going on in the world and in entertainment. And I don't have anything else to do. I'm just messing with you. Um, let's see. Come join the stream if and stuff. Just inviting some more folks in if they feel obliged. And yeah, that's about all I got for that one. And we're gonna go ahead and start this young topics off talking about different stuff. So, first things first, as I've already mentioned, we are going to get go into the first topic here, which will be about content ratings. And I'm mainly going to talk about movies, but this also applies to video games and stuff too. So let's go ahead and get into that really quick. So, um, if you guys have essentially been keeping up, uh, I've pretty much reached the conclusion that a lot of people really just don't pay attention to content ratings specifically for movies and video games because I've worked in retail before and I can tell you I am one of many people who have tried to warn parents about their kids trying to rent or well mainly rent um mature rated games when you can clearly tell that they are not old enough to play said game. And usually the first ones that come to mind, at least in recent history, is the Grand Theft Auto franchise, and I probably have rented that game to many of child uh, over probably a 3 year span, more or less. But I digress. The what kind of prompted me to want to talk about this was the most recent release of Pixar's Turning Red, and to be honest, I'm not it's not lost on me that a lot of people will get upset and have knee jerk reactions and of course being outraged and this and that and the third and oh god my children and you know how folks get. So last weekend I actually sat down and watched it with my fiance, just to kind of get a idea what was going on. Plus, we watch family stuff all the time anyway, so it's whether it's we watch all kinds of stuff with the exception of probably horror. That's probably something I don't get into a whole lot, but anyway, we sat and watched it, and I got the general premise of the movie, and I think the most interesting thing was it was set in 2001, and of course your main characters are 13 years old, they're coming of age. So, and my fiance is about 4 years younger than me, so this was like around her age range in 2001. So, um of course everybody was totally upset, saying it does this and does that, and you know it has these images of kids and blah 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 and stuff, and you know a lot of the knee jerk reactions are funny because I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure many of us remember how we were at 13. Doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman now. Um, you have to imagine you remember 13. Okay, I certainly remember 13, and that was a very weird time because, again, that's when you start becoming what they would call a young adult. Okay, that's when your body starts going through changes. Uh, you start having feelings. Attraction starts coming into play, and so on and so forth. So, and this was a movie that focused on that, albeit a really comedic and lighthearted way. Because again, this is stuff that as young adults go through. We have crushes, we daydream, among other things. And a lot of people took issue with this movie because it really focused on children basically coming of age, because at 13 that's when you start transitioning from child and start journeying on to adult. Now, and obviously, with this movie, it's not meant for small children. It's meant for a family setting with older kids, somewhere between probably like 9 to 12, 13, and so on and so forth. I mean, if you have younger children, that's that's the age range I think is probably optimal. It's like somewhere between 9 and up in 9 and 12. you know Maybe probably 13 too, so but still. So again, this is a movie that should be watched as a family too, because that's, again, these are things that do happen, and the movie highlights that. Now, the funny thing about that is, of course, I've heard a lot of arguments. I even heard the thing where he's talking about it sexualizes kids. Uh, Obviously, I don't agree with that. I honestly don't agree with that at all. Um, it just highlights what kids go through, or at least seemingly go through at that age. And I really think a lot of it comes down to also a thing where parents have an idea what they want their kids to be, and they end up underestimating their children. And I think that the movie really, um, I think it really highlighted that well. Like I think it hit those beats well, um, in very comedic ways and very relatable ways. And I definitely commend Pixar for being able to do that and getting the I can't remember the young lady who wrote the movie and things of that nature, but again, I commend them. Now, going back on, not to get back on topic as far as the content ratings go, it's like, look, I believe this movie was rated PG, and for most people that don't understand that, uh, that stands for parental guidance, meaning that um, you should watch it with your kids because they're going to need you, because more than likely this is going to be one of those movies that kids will see, and they're going to ask questions, because at some point kids are going to start asking questions, and it's better for them to have those questions answered by you to them than them finding out from someone else later. Okay. So, with that being said, it's like you have to pay attention to content ratings. That way you have an idea of what the optimal age range would be for said movie. And that goes for all movies. And like folks still kind of make the mistake that, oh, well, it's animated, so like it should be fine. And like, dude, like if you're still thinking that, it's like, dude, even stuff that I myself grew up with. I was born in the mid 80s. I grew up remembering a lot of stuff from the late 80s and the 90s and so on, okay? A lot of the stuff that we grew up with, much of that stuff went over our heads until we became adults, okay? So, but granted, the 80s and 90s were wild, but again, we're going to get into that because I wanted to give some examples as far as ratings go and why, people have to start using their brains, man. Like, straight up. People got to start using their brains. So, I have just a quick collection of movies of mine or whatever, and I wanted to kind of give my own examples, like some older examples, well, more or less classic examples, and even moving up to like more recent movies, and well, I at least more or less want to make sure that they're in order because I have a lot here, obviously. So first thing I'm going to start off with is uh Richard Donner's Superman 2. Now, you can, and I want to say that the rating for this movie, you could probably interchange between this cut and, of course, the original cut that a lot of people are familiar with. But let's take a look at it. So, the rating for this one is PG. Okay? Now, for many of you guys remember this movie, even though it's rated PG, because again, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact, it's Superman, comic book character, blah blah blah. But I don't know if that's what garnered the rating. But obviously, when you look at the content and stuff like that, it's just like, damn, a PG rating. Like, granted, this was like in 1981. I want to say. Well, 1980. Still, it was like late 70s, early 80s. And this movie is rated PG. Is rated PG. Well, you guys ain't gonna see that because it ain't gonna focus. But let me see. Let me see if we can get it to focus. There we go. Come on, focus. There we go. It's out of focus. There we go. Now we gotta focus. Now you guys see that it's PG. Parental guidance. Parental guidance suggested. And you see at the bottom it says sequences of action, violence, some language, and brief mild sexuality. Okay? So, that's going to tell you a little bit of something that maybe, just maybe, this one may not be for all children. Speaking of children, I know you guys could probably hear my son in the background like making noise. Yeah, that's him. But yeah, like, dude, you could look back at movies like this. This was PG for its time. Now, I did learn recently because, again, sometimes I don't look up a lot of things unless there's a cause for it or if I just happen to find it interesting, is that during the time when this movie came out, there was no PG-13 ratings. So I don't think that came along until 1984, I think. Because I had to look this up myself because Red Dawn was the first PG-13 movie, come out in 1984. And based on with a lot of feedback that I got on my page, a couple of people had said that, movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and stuff like that. It was like Raiders of the Lost Ark and Gremlins. The first Gremlins someone mentioned. It was saying like how like those movies were kind of graphic at the time. What's up to Marwan? Hey, what's up, man? Just talking about topics, man. You're just in time for my first topic. But yeah, they were saying like how those movies obviously kind of had a little bit disturbing imagery and stuff like that to where, and those movies are fairly dark and has some disturbing stuff in it. So it's like those aren't movies that you would typically have like younger kids watch, but at the same time, it's the early 80s. Times were different. So a lot of kids wound up seeing those movies. So let's move on to another one. Now, I believe all three of these count. That's what it looks like. I still have this in plastic. I still haven't opened it yet. But all three of these were rated PG, I believe. And again, I've probably watched all three of these movies religiously as a child. And because of this, I'm still waiting on my hoverboard. Okay, like I don't count that mess with the wheels or whatever. I'm just being straight up. I'm still waiting on my electromagnetic hoverboard. Okay, I'm still waiting on that. So, but yeah, I believe each one of these are PG. Now, if you remember these movies, specifically the first one, okay, the first one, first of all, had some pretty harsh language in it, and it was, I mean, even though it was the story itself, obviously, it's kind of like, has low key in it has language in it. It definitely has some sexuality in it. It has, like low key examples of incest in it. And I mean, there was basically an attempted R word scene in this. I can't necessarily say it because I know like more like my video will probably get dinged if I say it, but you guys know what the R word is. There's an attempted R word in this movie, okay? In the first one. PG, okay? The 80s were wild, okay? Like this is 1985 and onward, okay? So I think the third one was either 1989 or 1990. I can't remember. But even still, oh hey, what's up, man? Speaking of parental guidance, hey, you want to say hey to everyone? You look like you're on your way to bed. Say hey. Say hey, dude. Say hey, everyone. Yeah, you see yourself? Yeah, that's you. You looking all fuzzy by the head. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Q? All right. So yeah, back to the topic. And like Marwan was saying, like, yeah, man, like it's the 80s were wild. And speaking of another one, this one here, Beetlejuice. Now, if you're old enough, you guys probably remember the I think wasn't it on Nickelodeon? Wasn't the cartoon on Nickelodeon of this, if I recall? I'm pretty sure it was. But once again, PG rated movie here, okay? And if you remember this movie, dude, they had there was an F-bomb in this. Okay, and this was in the late 80s, all right? This was the late 80s. So so it's wild. I mean, obviously the criteria was different then as it is now, but I'm just giving those examples because many of us born in the 80s grew up in the 90s. And so ABC Saturday, thank you. I knew it was one of I couldn't for the life of me I couldn't think of it, but thank you for that. Yeah. As you can see, the boy's Tigger. So, and here's another one, roughly still around that same time, but this is another one. Dick Tracy. Okay. I believe also PG movie. Okay. There was a lot of adult material in this movie. Okay. I mean, dude, Madonna was in this in a see-through gown. Okay, you could literally see through her gown and actually see this area. Okay? Like, it's shadowy, but dude, come on, you got eyes. Okay? This was PG. This was PG, my friends. Okay? So, and this was a fairly violent movie too. So that's another thing too. This was a pretty violent movie on top of it. And so here's some more recent examples. Just a few. Nothing really crazy, but just a few. But let's look at this. And while we're still on the subject, Sky High, which is essentially another coming of age movie by them, and it is rated PG as well. Parental guidance, ladies and gentlemen. And it reads right here, it says some material may not be suitable for children for action, violence, and some mild language. Hmm. If you read that, then maybe this might not be good for my 5 or 6 year old then. Unless you're going to watch it with them. Just saying. That's why they have it there. Another one. Amazing Spider-Man. Now, I think this is probably like the only movie that I pulled out that's PG-13. But still, a lot of people see a comic book movie, especially Spider-Man, and you either have to, of course, like I think a lot of the other characters that fall in the same line with Spider-Man, of course, would be, of course, Batman, of course, Superman, and of course, like the more recent stuff like Shazam and stuff like that. Those are going to be rated PG-13 and going to have a lighter tone, but at the same time, maybe it might not be a good idea to bring your 5 or 6 year old to see it. Now, granted, I'm sure that most of us that are older probably have seen worse things at 5 and 6. I know I have, but but with that being said, uh, uh, you know what? Legend is a good one. I'm actually going to look that up really quick, Marwan. Give me 1 second. I bet anything that movie was PG. Bet anything. Let me see. Legend 1985 movie. Yep, that movie was rated PG. It was 1985. It was rated PG. So that again, like that kind of facilitates my point, like more and more. I mean, it's like I said, the 80s and 90s were something else, but at the same time, it's like it's like even still, like you have to think about that. So it's like you have to think about that, and it's like once again, Spider-Man, PG-13, parents strongly caution. So folks just and that's the misconception a lot of people have. Folks, especially nowadays, folks just think like PG-13, oh, it's for kids. Huh? What? I'm I don't understand. Like lots of PG-13 movies aren't meant for children. I mean, I could give you a clear example. Most recently, The Batman. There was nothing for kids in that movie. Not a thing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, it's like the Nolan movies barely had something for like maybe somewhat younger people, but those were mature movies. Those were not meant for kids. A lot of PG-13 movies are not meant for kids. It's just that now PG-13 is the golden standard because you can grab it. You can grab a bigger audience that way. So it's pretty much the golden standard. But the idea that all that PG-13 automatically means kiddie, like folks really got to stop that. But is for this one, it's PG-13 for says some material may be inappropriate for children under 13. Sequences of action and violence. All you got to do is read, my guys. It said it's like you can't sell toys. You're right, you can't, but they do because I was at Walmart and they got them like front and center, like the Batman. It's like it's so weird thinking about it now because it's like because even when we were kids, Terminator, Aliens, Rambo, dude, all of those, if I remember correctly, had toys marketed for kids. Terminator, I know specifically, and Rambo too. I'm not really sure about Aliens, but I guarantee there was probably an alien toy out there during that time. Okay, and so this is my last one here, and really fairly recent option: Sonic the Hedgehog from 2020. Yep, RoboCop. I knew it was in the back of my mind, but I wasn't thinking about it. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now this one is rated PG. Okay, and they have it here again. Parental guidance. That's what That's what PG means, ladies and gentlemen. Parental guidance. That means you watch this with your kids. You got to be there to be able to catch those questions if they get thrown at you. So, based on this, it says uh, parental guidance suggested, action, some violence, rude humor, and brief, mild language. Doesn't that sound like you're supposed to be involved? But yet, people get upset and they want to get upset at the entertainment companies and they try to handcuff what entertainment companies put out. It's like they put those ratings out there for a reason. But yet people want to get upset saying like, "Oh, think of the children." Well, why don't you? Like if it's like, look, if it means that much to you, then hey, just don't let just don't watch them then. Don't let them watch them. Okay? I mean, it's up to you. You want to if you want to uh keep your kid in the bubble for as long as you can, that's on you. I mean, whatever the case may be, but that's your choice. But to try to police entertainment companies from making entertainment, it's like, dude, it's your job as a parent to research this stuff before you go see it. That's what the content ratings are there for. Okay? That's what they're there for. I just have to put it out there. I have to say it. I have to say it because a lot of people really just don't get it. They don't. And it's hilarious more often than not. So I just find it really hilarious that like, and I know it's a lot of the people that still be saying like, oh well, if the person wasn't playing certain video games and stuff like that, it's like, well, who got them the game? How did they get a hold of the game? Why aren't you being more attentive in what games they're playing? Okay, it's like, look, even though that I've played my share of M-rated games as I've gone, now granted, M-rated games in the 90s, majority of them are not the same as M-rated games today. I mean, let's be real. Okay, because video games today pretty much have the equivalent of Hollywood budgets behind them. So obviously there's going to be a lot of content in M-rated games that are essentially the same as movies. So you can't have, little Timmy and young Johnny playing Grand Theft Auto 6 or Dead by Daylight and whatnot. Like when we were kids, all we had for the longest time was just Mortal Kombat. And you had like a few others sprinkled in there. But for us, it was Mortal Kombat. And it's like Mortal Kombat was literally just, it was digitized people, but that game was just cartoon violence. Like 100%. Like that's what we had, okay? That it's like I can't even remember any other like M-rated game during that time up until the PlayStation era. Uh I'm pretty sure there was a few like even in the uh what was it, like that transition between like the Genesis to the CD platforms. It was like around, like the kind of the Jaguars, whatever, kind of, leading into the Sega Saturn and stuff like that. Because, that, again, that's when they started ramping up a little bit because, of course, Mortal Kombat was still doing its thing. We had Killer Instinct, then eventually, we started having survival horror games because, PlayStation essentially brought in Resident Evil. And I think on the Sega was it? No, I take that back. No, because House of the Dead was like in the Dreamcast era, but even still, you had survival horror come along. Then you started having the Grand Theft Auto series, the early ones, the top down ones. You had that, and then of course, like they just ramped up from there. And the thing is that you have to follow. Yeah, because like I can't recall Q, but wasn't there like some type of like controversy or something like when Night Trap first dropped, like around that time? Because because I know like Night Trap has kind of gotten like a bit of a cult following like since then, but But yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, Manhunt. Ooh, yeah. I remember the controversy with that one. So I think that game is still banned in the UK somewhere, I believe. But yeah, like yeah, Manhunt was like I've seen some people play Manhunt. Man, that's a rough game to get through. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, shoot, I played Modern Warfare when you gun down the airport. You know, so it's just like it's oof, but it's like, but even with that said, just saying that, it's like it really seems to me like a lot of people just do not pay attention to content ratings, but they get mad at the people who create them and make them, and then they want to cry, oh, what about the kids? Well, you're there. You got eyes. You can read, can't you? That's just what I think about that. So essentially, that's what I mean when I say that all of this is on the parents. You got to stop trying to make entertainment companies bow to, like, look, the whole point of entertainment companies is to create entertainment. The whole point of entertainment companies is to make money. Hell, I've even had people. I've had a couple of discussions with a couple of people about Disney putting the Netflix shows on Disney Plus. I mean, if you guys are upset because they put, was it six shows? I think it's five. Well, yeah, because it's Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, yeah, and Defenders and Punisher. Those six shows, it's like, dude, y'all already got stuff on there that's pretty violent already. And that stuff ain't meant for kids. It's like even the Marvel stuff, it's like even some of the Star Wars stuff and even some of the Marvel stuff, those stuff go to dark places. It doesn't. I mean, either even then, y'all act like they don't have parental control protocols in place. And if we really want to get technical, it's like, look, Disney owned R-rated content for a good amount of time. Like, truth be told, like, let's be real. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've invested in a lot of different stuff over years, but I mean, the best example I can give is that, like, look, they own Miramax Films for a good decade. They own, like, they acquired Miramax 1 year, if I remember correctly, 1 year before Pulp Fiction dropped. And you know what else came out from Miramax too? Kill Bill. So guess what? For if you really don't want to be technical, those were Disney films. Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill were Disney films, okay? So it's like, hey, people seem to forget that Disney is an entertainment company whose sole purpose is to make money, okay? They tried to keep everything in the middle of the road to be as liberal as possible, but they're an entertainment company. That's what they do. I mean, if anything, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of the stuff, like from the golden age of Disney, a lot of that stuff was more problematic than anything that they've been doing now, more or less. I mean, aside from the live action Mulan situation, but at least that I know of. But even still, it's like, guys, come on, get over yourselves. Start reading the content ratings, and research the stuff before you guys start getting outraged. Okay, so it's like, hey, I'm not one to plop my kid in front of the TV, even though it's like many of our parents did it. But hey, that's another discussion. Bottom line, read the content ratings, ladies and gentlemen. No one is going to hold your hand. That's why they make the content ratings, for you to read. So that does it for that topic. All right. So the next topic on the list was, which was, I think that broke earlier today, and Warner Brothers released released the deleted scenes. Uh, well, one deleted scene for the Batman featuring the Joker. Also, really quick, what's up, Pure F and Evil? Glad you joined the chat. Appreciate it. Um, but yeah, they released the deleted scene for the Batman featuring the actor playing Joker. I keep forgetting his last name. I know his first name is Barry. I believe his last name begins with an S, but I can't remember what his name was. But either way, kind of want to give my thoughts on that scene. Um, I thought that scene was actually, for the most part, really well crafted. I thought the dialogue was really good. It definitely gave. I mean, the whole movie itself was a pretty much a crime thriller, um, and I think it really did a excellent job uh, doing having that tone of a crime thriller, and I think it worked because if you really think about it, a lot of the deep roots of Batman comics and Batman storytelling, for the most part, they're crime thrillers. So, um, so in regards to the deleted scene, I thought it was really well written. I thought it was well crafted. I think the actor that was playing the Joker, I thought what they gave him and what they did with him played really well. And I think it's something that I think tonally worked. At the same time, I see why they took that scene out because I think for what they were already doing with the story, because they were already doing so much that with that story as a whole, with just the Riddler and Falcone and the Penguin and Cat and well, not really Catwoman, but it's Catwoman, but they don't call it that. Like it's they're being vague about it, but with Selena and so on and forth, like they were already doing so much with that having that scene in there, that would have been like the one time to me where it felt kind of crowbarred in, because again, it's like of course you're gonna have Batman, so they gotta have the Joker in there somewhere, and so on and so forth. So it's gonna be one of those things where it's just like, okay, Batman's here, so to me, where's Joker? Where is he? He's got to be somewhere. But but overall, I think that I do think that there definitely is future with that. There's a future with that. But personally, I really don't want them to have Joker as the main antagonist for the next movie, because we've look. I'm just gonna be real with you. I'm someone. I It's like I love my comic book movies. I will always cherish them. I grew up on a lot of it. I'm just sick of Batman. I'm just sick of Batman the character. And Warner Brothers has pitted themselves into a corner to where they have to rely on Batman if they're going to make any type of money. And it's kind of irritating because DC has so many characters they can rely on, and thank goodness that they are starting to bring in more IPs for future projects. But man, I was tired of Batman. I want to say a few years ago, because I think where I started to really kind of disconnect from the character was when the Gotham series dropped. And the first two seasons, I actually loved the first two seasons of Gotham. I thought that the idea of focusing on the crime family the crime family area of Gotham and all that stuff, and like having like these different colorful characters. You sprinkle in a couple of people like the stuff like that, and it's like, you have uh the person who would eventually become Riddler and eventually Penguin in there. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. Penguin's like a mob underling, and the Riddler, before he becomes a Riddler, works forensics for the GCPD. It's like, okay, that's actually kind of brilliant. I like that. and they focused on like the crime element with like a few hints of future Batman stuff later, but it's just like, okay, this is pre-Batman stuff, and they're setting up for a lot later, so it's like, okay, I could dig that. And then it was like after that, when season three, it's like all of Batman's rogues gallery just started showing up, and I'm like, wait, and it's just like, dude, I don't care if this is an Elseworld series, like it's, dude, why are all of Batman's rogues gallery here and there's no Batman? Why? It's like it just got irritating because it's like they couldn't help themselves. So, my son. But yeah, that's just kind of where I was at with it. And then of course, the whole Snyder thing and BVS, and they put out a whole bunch of different other stuff with animations and stuff, and it was just like, dude, I almost didn't see the most recent Batman because of how overloaded on the character I've been. But I went with friends and we went to see it, and I knew that the movie was going to be good because Matt Reeves can write a movie and do it really well. I've enjoyed just about everything I've ever seen from Matt Reeves. So, so great value, solid growth. Dude, when I realized that like he eventually, like, because I had stopped watching Gotham like halfway through season 3. Like when the Mad Hatter showed up, I was done. I was done after that. So I kept hearing little bits and this and that or whatever as a series. I'm like, oh my, I am so glad I stopped watching the show because it would have just irritated me. So, but as far as what I felt about the recent film, I thought the film was good. I think that for me personally, I think that movie could have been shorter. With that said, I don't think that there was a lot of wasted time in it. I just think that for the pacing for me was it was interesting. Don't get me wrong. I just think for that kind of movie, it's just like I can't just sit down and watch it. It's was it Steven? Oh yeah, Steven. I'm just reading your message, Steven. So, but oh, you still haven't seen it yet? Okay, well, if you just joined in, like I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about any other spoilers. I'm just basically just talking about how I felt about it. But overall, I think the movie was good. Hey, Prodigy popped back up again, and he's hopping back to the back as you can see. But yeah, I think the Batmobile in there was tight. I thought it was cool. It's probably I want to say it's probably the more practical looking Batmobile that we've gotten so far. But for the most part, I thought the movie was good. I liked a lot of the characters. Acting was on point. Robert Pattinson, I think, did a really great acting job. Hey, man. but yeah, it was just what was I saying? Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson. So yeah, Robert Pattinson was just like he was really good acting wise. But I really wish that he would have put on more. He would have put on more weight. I don't know if it's just the fact that he couldn't, or he just couldn't commit to it. But it's just for me personally. When I see Batman, I don't see a middleweight. And if like I were to judge it by like boxing class, it's like Bruce is essentially a middleweight. And because it was like that moment in there when he was like pushing the table and stuff like that, it was like, dude, you little. It's like I can't believe I can't like it. Like it took me out a little bit thinking like man, I can't see you clearing out a whole room with people like damn near twice your size. Like I'm just, that's just me personally. Like it's like it doesn't disqualify him as the character, but it's just something that I just really It's just something that like I just observed. It just kind of sort of. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say hey. Say hey. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. So, yeah, he's running off. So, gosh, how? See, you're doing this because you know you need to go to sleep. He's doing this because he knows he needs to go to sleep. It's his bedtime. He knows he's supposed to go. Give me one sec, guys, because he's trying to play like he wants to play around. I'll be right back. All right, I think Little Prodigy is. We're attempting to put him down to sleep. We'll see if it takes. But this is what my man Stephen Petty said. He said I would feel that, but I view UFC, MMA, and did a bit of training, and I've seen Slim guys say, it's like, it's like I said, I don't knock that. It's not to say that someone can't get the upper hand on people bigger than him, but it's like at the same time, this is Bruce Wayne Batman I'm thinking about. Like the thing is that like it's like Robert Pattinson has more of a build of a Nightwing than he does a Batman. And I think that's kind of it's like granted I know he's supposed to be younger and stuff like that or whatever, but it's like still as Batman, as the vigilante, as the person who's done the traveling, done the training, done the discipline, done all of that. It's like I'm at least looking for someone that's like at least up like upper light heavyweight. So like that's what I see when I see Batman. So it's and the thing is with Robert Pattinson, like even though he's in his late 30s, he's pretty much like I think he's like 36, 37 now or something. He might be a little bit younger than that, but even still, it's like he kind of still has a case of baby face, so he can make that work for him a lot longer. So it's like with him having that and then not really having the build, you know, it's like it's not to say that disqualifies him. I'm just saying that like in that instance, it kind of takes me out a little bit. The suit, him in the suit is on point. Like he's on point in the suit. So but it's like I know what he is under the suit. I think is what it is. So because again, this is a man without powers. This isn't like the the sensational Batman Justice League member type that like this is I'm just saying that's my take. It's my take. That's just my thing. I'm just saying like that just kind of takes me out of it a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. It's just whatever. But that said, the movie was good. I think what they did this is a really good starting point for them to do something. You know they're going to do something, but I thought it was really well done, and we'll see what else they do down the road. I think one of the more interesting characters I would like to see done, a Clayface would be interesting. There's already been talks about a Mister Freeze. I think Mister Freeze in this setting would work really well. Um, as far as any other characters, I know there's already been rumors of Quarter Owls, Hush, um, maybe Two Face. Uh, I don't know, they might use Two Face like later on, but even still, uh, I could see them doing a lot with even like Rose Gallery members that we haven't seen yet, because I think we're going to get our first live action Firefly in the Batgirl film, which I think that might be next year or whatever. But but once again, it's because that they're relying so much on Bat properties is why like I've been reached my threshold with Bruce Wayne Batman. At this point, it's just like, look, if it has to be Batman, I much like I would just rather see Terry McGinnis at this point. It's like I don't want to see Bruce in the suit no more. It's like I would have been cool with Nightwing, but Titans exists and I've washed my hands of that show too. So I don't even want to see none of them. So I was just it's like at this point, just give me Terry McGinnis. Give me old man Bruce in the chair and give me Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond. That's where I'm at with it now. It's like if I'm going to see anyone else in the Bat family, that's who I want to see. It's like I don't want to see anybody else. So skeptical on Batgirl. I'm willing to give Batgirl a chance. I mean, I can't see them being any worse than what I've seen so far because like anything CW wise, with the exception of Superman and Lois. And I only hope that they keep up the good work with that show, because that's literally the only good DC property CW show is Superman and Lois, because everything else like on that network is tanked as far as quality, as far as I'm concerned. Like I just recently watched, I think I watched the newest episode of Flash today, and I was just like, no, no, everybody in the show is pissing me off now. Like, granted, I want to say the last 3 seasons of The Flash have been hard to get through. Like, rough, like the other ones have been going down, but like the last 3 seasons, including this current season, the last 3 seasons of uh, Flash has been really. I never thought that I would say this about the Flash, but it's terrible now. Like it really is. Like it really really is. I just watch it because it really was like the only other uh Arrowverse spinoff that like I had the most longevity with, because I pretty much gave up on everything else along the way. Cause Arrow, I managed to get all the way through it. Like it was rough, but like the last couple seasons was okay. Even though I've grown to hate Felicity a lot, but other than that, like you know, I thought Arrow finished fine. Um, oh, bro, no, man, mm-mm. Like you know what book? I think I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic because I know this is kind of going into like a DC tangent. But the thing that pisses me off about Flash right now is the character development has gotten worse since it started. And I'm thinking like, cause I can't help but think about how characters were at one point and watching them now and thinking like, what in the entire hell? Because at the beginning of this season, and I got to talk about Joe, Joe West. Um, the shit that he gave Barry about Thawne, because Thawne had did some manipulation with the negative speed force and he was dying. And Barry was like at that point where it's like, dude, you did this to yourself. I'm not helping you. And bro, Joe gave him a whole spiel about saving his life. And if he didn't, he would tear the family apart. I would I'm like, what? I'm dude, you were the same one 6 years ago who with no hesitation pulled your gun out and shot at Wells. It was another version of Wells. He did not hesitate to pull his gun out and let off 3 shots. It wasn't even the right Wells. But dude, he saw Wells' face and just like, da, da, da. He was, bruh, and you're going to lecture Barry about, dude, I'm like, really? Really, Joe? Really? Like everything that this man put Barry through, you're going to lecture him about letting this man suffer from his own comeuppance. Like, that, that pissed me off so bad, bro. And you know what? Another person that got on my nerves just as much as Cecile. Now, up until this season, I tolerated Cecile up to like, it's just like, okay, she was there. I didn't really care about it that much, but it's like I knew she was gonna be there, like, going forward, whatever. But this season with her pissed me off so much, especially during the Armageddon arc when she was doing this whole thing where Joe was supposedly missing and got killed and she was still grieving, and this whole thing where she was kind of superseding her grief over other people. And I'm like, okay, hold up. You kind of, first off, considering that Iris, his firstborn, was dealing with it in her own way or whatever, it's like, how are you gonna come up? It's like, look, you conceived your own daughter with this man. Okay, that's all well and good. That's fine. But when you kind of start coming at Iris about how she should feel about how Joe got missing, and there was a chance that maybe, just maybe, somebody was messing with the timeline, and you don't, and it's like, I was like, wow. It's like the character development in this show has gotten trash. Absolutely. It's like, no, nope, 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 nope. I can't. Everybody in this show was pissed me off one way or another. I think like I think where it started for me was the crossover after Flashpoint, because Cisco and John Diggle, both of them pissed me off in that crossover, because it's like, okay, Barry changed the timeline. And then obviously when things weren't going right or whatever, he had to change it back. Now, you could technically put blame on him, but at the same time, Barry was driven by grief to change the timeline, because he literally had lost, I think he had lost both his parents at that point. And he was just like, I can't take this no more. I have to fix this. And he puts it back, but obviously things are changed. So Cisco, apparently his brother died. It sucks. But Diggle, his child, instead of having a daughter, when he ended up having a son instead. And the thing is, when Cisco busted Barry out, what happened, because again, Barry has no recollection about the events that played up to that point. Things got changed. And of course, he's explained this to them. It's like, I had no idea this would happen. This and that. Like, Joe literally came at Barry talking about like you took my son, like no, you said you no, what do you say, like you took my daughter from me? I'm like, dude, he didn't take anything from you. It's the same kid. Like, like it's like it's like, dude, instead of a girl, you had a boy. Like it's the same kid. Like, it'd be different if you had no kid at all, but it's just like, bro, Barry didn't know anything like that would happen. It's like how you just gonna just give him. It's like how you just gonna just come at him like he knew that was gonna happen. Like, I but uh, Quinde Tariq Nail. Thanks for joining the stream. It says too many seasons of a show gets kind of stale. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it can, especially if you name. I mean, granted, I got through all the seasons of Supernatural, and wildly enough, they always found a way to keep me entertained, and they were on for 14 years. You know, give or take, depending on like if they had a hiatus. But it's like I know some people stopped watching the show, or whatever. I kept it up because they entertained me, and I have to say that, like, it was bittersweet, but I thought it ended the way it needed to, especially with all the crazy shit they were doing already. So, um, I guess I went all off into a whole DC tangent or whatever. So, but oh yeah, yo yeah, Steven, yeah, you right about that. That's one of the reasons why I stopped watching a lot of their shows, because it's like it gets to a point where um it gets to a point where it's just like you guys aren't even trying with the diversity angle, because it's like if you're going to do diversity, let it feel genuine, because it's like, say what you want about the Curtis character that was Mr. Terrific, well, that version of Mr. Terrific, say what you want about him, but it was like the fact that they brought him in and he was a gay character, and they didn't make like this whole big spiel about it, and it just felt natural that he was there, and he was like, hey, he just happened to be gay. He's saying like, okay, okay, that's cool. Like, see what else he got to offer, or whatever. It's like when it feels natural like that, I like that. But it's like when you get to the point where you have to like devote like a whole season to it, and it kind of just overtakes whatever other story you're doing, and when it gets to a point where, now, okay, I get you guys are trying to do inclusion or whatever, and I'm all for that, but it's getting to the point of like the pandering is insulting my intelligence at this point, because I could see what you guys are doing. Even if it was the same thing when it was like a black character, where it's like, oh well, I've been doing this in 400 years, and if they did shit like that, it was like, I'm like, bro, come on. And to answer your question, Legends, yeah, uh Legends is still on, and I haven't watched Legends since season 3, and that was actually the last season I really enjoyed. And I tried watching season 4, and I tapped out. It's like, even with John Constantine in it, I tapped out. I couldn't do it. Um, nope, couldn't do it. Um, and it's but that's the thing, Marwan. It's like I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying as far as the daughter thing or whatever, but that's the thing. It's like it kind of just goes back to just like, okay, obviously when you conceive a kid, it can go either way. So if there's like a slight change in the timeline, it's like it's just a flip of a coin. You have a daughter or you have a son or whatever. Same birthday, same genes, everything. So it's just like, it's still just like a thing where it's just like, dude, you never really lost anything. See, Cisco, I can understand because his brother's dead. Like, at that point, I understand him being grief stricken and stuff like that, because he lost his brother. Diggle didn't lose a child. He still had the same child. Same birthday, same genes, everything. It's still the same thing. So it's just like it'd be different if he didn't have no kid. And even before then, him going back in time actually saved all of them at one point because when they faced against, I think it was when they went up against Vandal Savage the first time, all of them died. If Barry hadn't gone back in time, they all still be dead. so so it's like I don't know. I just feel like that they could have done that crossover better, like as far as that goes. But yeah. Um, but the one thing I'll say, and then I'll move on, is that yeah, Booster Gold. It's like, look, Donald Faison is Booster Gold. I If they spin off to his own show and they do stuff with him, I would watch it. I would watch it. But um, it's like it's not making me motivated to watch Legends full time because the show just got unbelievably stupid to me. It just was not working. It was not working. Um, but I know like I think it was like they adopted Connor Hawk, I think is what it was. You know what I'm saying. Um, so yeah, I think that was Bronze Tiger's son. I think they adopted. So I forgot his. Well, I know they named him Connor Hawk, but yeah. So I really hope that they scrap that Powerpuff Girls series. It's a good thing Chloe Bennett bowed out because maybe they got something planned for her in the MCU again. So I don't know. Look, but whatever the case may be, I don't know. But but yeah, like Donald Faison is Booster Gold. Like I'd be down for that if they spin off on his own show and I'll watch it. But I don't want to um uh I just can't go back watching Legends. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next topic, which is still DC related. Um uh yes, quite a few folks left. So it's just like I don't know what the reason. I think I still think their biggest loss in the CW was Captain Cold. And granted, I know that the actor that played him, I know like he, had to deal with some personal things or whatever, which is why like, he still pops up every now and then or whatever, but like I think losing him as a main character did hurt the show quite a bit. So that's just kind of where I feel about it. So but yeah. Yeah, I'm going to move to the next topic. Before I do that, I will be right back. So hang on. Just give me a few minutes. I will be right back. Okay. All right. Okay, so we were moving on to the next topic, which minor topic, and then I go to the one of the topics I was actually going to talk about. But I think yesterday, sometime yesterday, they confirmed that the Suicide Squad game got delayed to next year, which really sucks. But I don't know, man. Like it's already bad enough that they reshifted the movie slate again. But I mean, on the bright side, on the movie side, that we're getting Shazam and Black Adam within proximity of each other. So, which makes me think that they are probably may show up in each other's movie, and I guess it just makes sense to have one come out after the other. I think within 2 months, because I think Black Adam is October and Shazam 2 is in December, I believe. Either late November, December, I can't remember. So at least we still get those at the end of the year. But yeah, they moved the Suicide Squad game back again, and it's like I actually was really looking forward to playing that because I mean it's Rocksteady. Rocksteady has had a pretty solid uh resume up to this point, and the fact that you have like multiple characters you can play with, and it's going to be this quirky thing with Suicide Squad having to stop and Brainiac control Justice League. Pretty ingenious idea, I think. So that's going to be something that I feel is worth playing. Um, to be honest, I have no idea. Like Warner Brothers has been kind of just I don't know. Like they've just really just been in this really weird limbo of a place, and because they've been doing a lot of shifting around. Because I mean, Gotham Knights had already got pushed like really far back, but I don't know. Like it's like I'm kind of interested in that game, but not really. But I still would like to play it because it's like pretty much all the Bat proteges that you play with, and it's co-op, so it might actually turn out okay. I mean, probably it turned out better than Avengers did. Like, granted, I don't hate the Avengers game, but the way they went about it just wasn't it, Chief. It just wasn't. But Warner Bros. I don't know, dude. Like, I'm not sure what the issue is as far as the game side, because I know they got I know NetherRealm Studios might be announcing something soon. Because I know like they've been teasing the next game that they're working on. As far as Rocksteady and I can't remember what the other developer is, but they I don't know. I'm really not sure what the situation is. It could really just be genuine development issues or whatever with stuff, whatever, and just trying to figure out what to do and all that. So so when producers and directors literally have to be like, got this, let me handle this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like I don't really know what is going on over there. It's like I don't know. Like, to be honest, Warner Brothers in general has just been in a really weird place ever since AT&T acquired them. It's like I still don't know how that happened, because again, it's like Warner Brothers was like one of the biggest, you know, corporation like entertainment corporations, like they were one of the big three, because I think it was Disney, Warner Brothers, and 20th Century Fox. Like they were the big three in Hollywood. So it was like when I heard um Disney had acquired like all of Warner Brothers, I'm like, how did that happen? Like like it was like, I mean, it's like I didn't even know AT&T had the money like that, but they did. But it's like ever since they acquired Warner Brothers, it's been weird over there. Like it's been very strange with them, and it's just been weird ever since. As far as the video game side goes, I'm not entirely sure. They could be facing the same develop issues with development. I'm not sure if there's like any type of like downsizing at Warner Brothers or Warner Media, trying to do something with the other departments or whatever. I don't know, but they can't be doing anything too crazy because they're putting a lot of money behind that Hogwarts was it Hogwarts Legacy, I think it's called, like that game that Sony had the recent state of play for. It's like it seems like they putting a lot of money behind that. It was like a basically a sandbox Harry Potter game basically. So obviously they're still working on something, but I mean I have no idea what is happening over there. It's just you know it's just weird. Like Warner Brothers is getting passed around like luggage right now because they're still in the middle of that whole merger with or acquisition with Discovery and all that, and I don't know. It's weird, but I guess that's kind of the perfect segue going into this. But the speaking of which, speaking of Warner Brothers, speaking of DC, well, apparently the Super Snyder fans are back at it again. Surprise, surprise. And they are really still holding out hope that they are going to restore the Snyderverse, which honestly, dude, I see the cult of personality is cult of personality is not just a song, people. It's not. It's really not. And dude, it's like, look, Warner Brothers does not want Snyder back. Ray Fisher's not coming back as Cyborg. Ben Affleck is not coming back as Batman. Granted, they could just replace the actors if they wanted to. But man, the way people keep rallying behind Snyder to come back to do DC films, dude, you would think that they're acting like Snyder somehow became DC somehow. Like it's like I don't understand why is it so hard for them to move on. Like like I, it's like look, Spielberg has given us some of the greatest films that will more than likely would never be replicated again. Not the same magic anything. Poltergeist, E.T., Jurassic Park. Uh, I think he directed Hook. I believe he directed Hook. Either that, or he was a producer. I can't remember. But it's like again, like Spielberg, like he's directed some of the most classic films for the longest. I think was I can't forget the. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did he do the original Jaws? Like, correct me if I forget whether or not, but either way, it's just like dude, I don't get it. Why folks just was like, dude, you, this is the thing, and the thing is, like, I've read speculation, all that stuff or whatever about the Snyder cut and all this that. It's like, look, the Snyder cut wouldn't have happened. Thank you, Q. The Snyder cut would not have happened if Warner Media, who was with like just so you guys know, Warner Media was basically the AT&T uh basically it's Warner Media, then you got Warner Brothers. Cuz AT&T acquired them and they kind of made like their joint thing and became Warner Media. So basically Warner Media green are the ones they superseded Warner Brothers to green light the Snyder cut to happen. Warner Brothers was done with it. They had already moved on. You can say what you look. Listen, you can say what you want as far as like how WB did Snyder. It's like, yes, it was messed up. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Okay, but it's just a simple fact. It's like, look, the man's vision didn't work. The man's vision did not provide the money that they expected to have with the movies he was making. It just didn't happen. Okay? Folks keep saying that Joss Whedon came in and messed some stuff up or whatever. I mean, look, when the Snyder Cut came out, I actually watched um I spent the weekend more or less. I watched both versions of the movie just so I could have like fresh eyes. I watched the Joss Whedon version. Well, let's just say the theatrical version. Because the thing is, my consensus is this: Joss may have added some things and rewrote a couple of scenes, but the overall structure of the movie didn't change. It was just shorter. Like the overall structure of it didn't change. Um, but I watched both movies one after another to have fresh eyes. And the thing is this: Snyder may have had some good ideas of what he wanted to do, and and you can argue that the Snyder cut is better by default because the movie does give you a lot more than what you initially got when they had to, you know, re-edit it, reshoot some stuff, cut it down for time, all that stuff. So, but it's just like I already knew that once this movie came out, it wasn't going to end there. See, there was this misconception that like, we just want the Snyder cut, release it. It's like, no, they never just wanted the Snyder cut. They want once they were given, a bone, you know, once you gave them a bone, they wanted to come after the whole herd once they got it. And that's what's happening. Because ever since they got the Snyder cut and this, that, and the third, it's like, oh, Snyder just what Snyder share this time? Oh, he wanted John Stewart in the movie. It's like, okay, that's fine, you know, okay. Obviously they said no, whatever the case may be with Warner Brothers, because they more than likely probably didn't want him to use them because they probably had plans for the property. So instead of doing that, he just threw Martian Manhunter in the movie, which made it's like, look, a lot of folks were just happy to see characters on the screen, and that's fine. But it's just like, dude, Martian Manhunter y'all actually did a disservice to his character by putting him in that movie, because he was a character that was there behind the scenes the entire time and did nothing. Like, that's not in Martian Manhunter's character at all. Like, literally had what, three world-ending events since Man of Steel, and did nothing. Okay, it's like it's just like, listen, this is the main criticism I've always had about Snyder is the guy's a good visionary director. He can direct some action scenes for the most part, but he is not a good writer. The man is not a good writer. He's not. Even if you look at his catalog, the best movies he directed were the ones he didn't write. Everybody goes back to say like Dawn of the Dead. Guess what? James Gunn wrote Dawn of the Dead. Zach may have had some input in the screenplay, but James Gunn wrote the screenplay for Dawn of the Dead. and someone else wrote the screenplay for 300. So it's just like if you look at the movies that he actually wrote for, mm, I'm just saying, objectively, not really good storytelling. Just wasn't. So the thing is, it's been a whole thing with the new DC movies coming out, and I don't know, right? So it's like, but with the new series of DC movies coming out and stuff like that or whatever, the thing is that the Snyder, the basically the cultists, because that's basically what it is. Like it's literally the same. It's literally like if you're in the same, like if you're on Facebook, if you guys are roughly the same certain group that I'm in, because I don't want to call them by name, like roughly or whatever, but I'm cool with everybody there. Is that like it's usually the same usual suspects that come along when anything about Snyder is mentioned every time. So if they could, it's just like, look, at this point, it's just like even trying to give him their own Elseworlds thing or whatever the case may be, it's like I'm at the point where I feel like they don't even deserve it. Like that's just where I'm at now. Like I feel like they don't even deserve it, and it's like even the original draft that they were going to do, it just no. Like it's just no. The thing, this my whole point, my whole problem. Let me see. What's Steve saying? Black Adam and Flash will put them in the track. See, and see, the thing is, the reason why I think Black Adam is my most anticipated movie so far, because it's doing so far from what we've seen, it's doing a lot of things right. And the fact that we're getting like more obscure characters like the Justice Society of America, and those characters like Doctor Fate, Hawkman, and Atom Smasher, and others, is like the fact that we're kind of getting those characters in a big way, and it's Dwayne Johnson like really headlining it or whatever. I actually have a really good feeling about that movie when it drops, and I'm looking forward to that. And there's even been some talk where like it could be uh, Henry Cavill may actually finally reprise his role in one of those movies. Between that and Shazam 2, we don't know, but I mean, I'm sure that a lot of folks are probably going to pop back up like once Flashpoint comes around. But one of the suspicions with Flashpoint is the fact that if you look at the slate with all the four movies that they were, well, five, because they included Batman in that Heroes trailer. If you noticed with that slate, they moved the Flash at the end. So the Flash is the last movie to come out of those five, including the Batman, which makes me think that whatever is going to take place in those movies leading up to Flashpoint, I think like everything is going to be affected going forward, like literally, like universe wise, because we know that after Flashpoint happens, basically came a bit of a convergence situation with the universe. You still got a few worlds that still exist on their own or whatever, but that's essentially what happened like after uh Flashpoint, because New 52 happened. It was a whole nother universe, blah blah blah. So it really makes me think that they are basically rewriting everything. That's what it looks like to me, and I think that's what has a lot of Snyder fans pissed off, because again, they wanted the Snyder cut, now they want everything else and all this, that, and the third. But it's like, um, yeah, like it's yeah. I know some things got merged in, some things got changed up, whatever case may be. It's a lot of stuff happened. So, but the thing is that given how the Snyder Cut situation played out, because I mean, for one, it was nothing but drama since the Snyder Cut got announced. Ever since the Snyder Cut got announced, it has been nothing but drama leading up to that movie dropping. Nothing but drama. Because Ray Fisher thing happened, Joss Whedon got exposed, you got this, that, and the third with a lot of people. And it's like, look, I will say this with the Ray Fisher thing. I'm not going to go too far into it. I will say this about the Ray Fisher thing. I believe Joss, I do believe about Joss being an asshole. I 100% believe that because there was stuff coming out about Joss even beforehand. And I think there was even some behind the scenes beef between him and Snyder in general, whatever. But I 100% believe Ray Fisher uh, about Joss being an asshole. Because the thing is, like I just feel like it's just one of those things where it's just like, you know, Hollywood is full of a lot of douchebags, and he was probably on this Hollywood douchebaggery. So I could see that, and I get that. When it comes to the other accusations, though, with everything else or whatever, a lot of that just feels like that just if you look at the situation objectively, this is just like, putting any type of social issue biases aside, anything like that, anything outside of Joss Whedon really just seems like it plays into the Snyder vendetta with Warner Brothers. A lot of it does. It just does. It's hard to ignore that because the timing was weird. You know, it's not really a whole lot of stuff that, you know, we know as far as like producers and whatever it is they was even doing. Like, I don't even know if it's just a situation they was just trying to like, just trying to make Whedon happy, just trying to get the movie done, all this, that, and the third. It's like I get that, but it's just like a lot of the other stuff that he was trying to accuse Warner Brothers of doing or whatever, like a lot of it really wasn't holding a lot of water outside of like listen, just like, I'm a black man, listen to me, such and such. Like a lot of stuff just really felt vague. It was too much he said, she said stuff going on. And it even now, like it's been what? I think like like since Justice League dropped in 2017. It's been 5 years now. And we're still really no closer to knowing what necessarily happened outside of Joss Whedon's being a douchebag. He should be caught. And of course, if he was being a douchebag behind the scenes, he should be called out for it 100%. Totally agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. It's just the way, like, the stuff, all the other stuff that went about it, whatever, like, it just felt too much of a Snyder vendetta after the fact. Because my thing is this: if you are pissed off at a whole company, you know, and this, that, and the third, like this is besides this being his first Hollywood role, you know. But if you're pissed off at a company and you want them to pay, or you want to see them to get the comeuppance for what they supposedly did to you and stuff like that, whatever, why would you continue to promote a product that puts money in their pockets? That just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if I was in a movie and I had a problem with somebody and I knowingly knew probably higher ups try to cover themselves or openly do of discriminatory stuff towards you and stuff like that, whatever the case it might be or whatever. It's like I'm not going to promote a product that still puts money in their pockets. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that. And to be honest, and I'm gonna be real with you, as far as Cyborg the character goes, I actually liked him better in Joss's version. Like I don't know if that if that's just if that puts me in a minority or not. It probably does. I don't know. But literally watching both versions, character wise, I like Joss's version better. Doesn't change the fact that Joss Whedon was a dick, but I enjoyed that version of I enjoyed that version of Victor better because there were just too many character nuances in the Snyder cut that made me not like him. Cause for one, he was he came off as an entitled brat. Doesn't matter if he came off as a rich family, not or whatever. The thing is, he came off as a really insufferable and entitled brat because they. Oh man, it's been a while since I talked about this because I don't think I ever really addressed it, but it's the thing he came off as an entitled brat. The movie itself doesn't show anything as to why Victor hates his father so much outside of him just working so much as a scientist. So it's like other stories have really shown why he has vitriol for Silas Stone, his father. The Snyder Cut doesn't really do that. Like, literally, the entire movie literally shows Silas trying to help Victor, but Victor just keeps spurning him at every moment. Like, the movie doesn't really show anything of why Victor hates his father. And that was one of the things it's just like, because that was one of the things that annoyed me. On top of that, Snyder killed his father off. I didn't like that, and he died in a stupid way. Like he really died in a really stupid way. So it's just like you can say what you want about Joss, but it's like, look, he actually made me like Victor more, and his father still stuck around. If anything, they kind of showed them actually have, you know, kind of rebuilding their relationship after the fact by the time that movie ended. So it's like, okay, that kind of gives me some hope, some future as his character and stuff like that. It's just like I don't know. It's like, look, folks gonna like what they like. That's my take on it. Like, honestly, I just all this huffing and puffing that Ray Fisher's been doing as far as like them butchering his character and all this other stuff or whatever. Look, they may not have done a lot with you in that theatrical cut, but they didn't make your character intolerable. I don't know. It was just like you being mad because like they wanted you to say the cyborg catchphrase and stuff and all that or whatever. And it's just like, dude, look, as an actor, especially like a new actor in Hollywood, it's like, dude, if you have a problem with somebody, yes, address the problem. I 100% get behind it. It's like, look, you don't have to take every little thing that happens on a Hollywood set. Like, it's like I get it. But the thing is, like, your job as an actor is to do the job you were hired to do. That's why I kind of feel like that he was definitely made some assurances going into that role, and when it didn't pan out, he got upset. Like, not saying he shouldn't be upset, but that's kind of how it shapes up to be. It's like, look, it's good for him that he finally found work and Zack Snyder finally gave him an acting job after 3 years of going to bat for him. But, uh, that's just kind of how I'm coming from on that. But I think like just going back to the whole thing, it's like, look, folks really gonna have to let this whole Snyder verse thing go and just let that man just do what he's doing now. Like he's over at Netflix by doing stuff. The thing is with Netflix, I honestly I have no idea how long Netflix is going to be doing stuff because they seem to be bleeding money as far as I'm concerned with all this stuff that they've been doing with the content lately. but uh but I'm just folks like have invested too much of themselves into Snyder coming back and trying to finish that story that honestly all the only thing this would end up doing is all it's doing is just going to appease his fan base. Cause that's really all the Snyder Cut did. The Snyder Cut really just appeased his fan base. You have some DC fans that enjoyed the Snyder Cut. That's fine. Like I ain't tripping about them. I'm not even tripping about some people that are fans of Snyder's work. Like I'm actually friends with a couple of people that are Snyder fans. Like I'm not knocking anybody who likes his work and maybe still wants to see him do some stuff or whatever. That's fine. It's the people who are like way too invested into it. Like people like are acting like Snyder is paying their rent is what I'm talking about. Like I'm talking about those people. It's just like, dude, it's too much. It's like y'all investing too much into that. All right, see you later, Marwan. Thanks for joining in, man. But yeah, that's I just really wish that they would just get a grip and just you know, it's like, look, if y'all probably weren't as toxic as y'all were, they probably would have considered doing it. But just face it, man. Stans don't know how to act, man. Like, like Stans don't know how to act. They really don't. It's like I have more of a Marvel preference, but man, like I've seen some Marvel stands like be real goofy too. But it's just like, man, like y'all need to put the Kool-Aid down. Like straight up. It's like y'all will go to great lengths for confirmation bias. Like you got like people are literally thinking just because the Snyder cut happened that they could still restore the Snyderverse. It's like they're completely forgetting that the parent company superseded Warner Brothers to get the Snyder cut done, and even then, they gave Snyder $100 million to finish it. If it actually was done and edited together, cleaned up, whatever, why would he need $100 million to finish it? Like, even it's like, dude, there was even scenes where it's like you could tell like he shot him specifically for this, just like that tacked on nightmare sequence at the end of the movie that didn't need to be there. It's like, dude, it's like people were just glossing over the reasons why it happened. It happened because AT&T was trying to flex their parent company muscles and supersede Warner Brothers. Said like, hey, if that's what the people want, let's get it done. But the funny thing is, after the fact, people at Warner Media was like had buyer's remorse afterwards. Like they was literally like, oh God, what have we done? But dude, I don't know, man. Like, look, I'm just gonna let this play out. Whatever they decide to do, hey, it is what it is. If they decide to kind of keep some elements of it and get rid of others or whatever, it is what it is. If they don't, hey, that's Warner Brothers' decision because that's their property. They can do what they want with it, and ain't really else to say about that. So, Dirty Bubba, hello from over on Twitch. Hello. So, I think I've said all that I needed to say as far as those topics go. I think I've been a little long-winded about that. But I've actually you can catch them on the replay because I actually finished them up. But we talked about what did we talk about? We talked about people not reading content ratings. We talked about the Joker deleted scene from the Batman film. Talking about the DC stuff getting delayed, and the Super Snyder fans getting trying to rally up again. So yeah, those are the topics, and yeah, I think it's about time for me to get into some gaming now. which was the last thing on the docket, more or less. So definitely trying to finish, at least try to finish. I don't know like how far I am. Yes, dirty. Yes, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to finish that game, and that was like one of the games I was still in the middle of doing. So, yeah, the plan is to get that going if I can get it to play. Let's see. But yeah, man, like that was actually fun. I think this is the first time I actually really like did my stream in this kind of format to where like I talked about different what is it? God, I can't think. I can't think. Gosh, I'm so mad at myself. Main missions. Last I checked, I was not done with the main missions. I think I still had plenty of. I still had some side missions to do and whatnot, and I still got some stuff to get done. So hold on, see if I can fix some stuff here, cause my game feed is acting a little weirdo. Do do do. I think like the next movie that's really what else? Because it's almost April. Well, Morbius is next week, and I think Sonic is a week after that. So I know those are like the only other two movies that's like hold on. The only two movies that's really like of worth that's going on. So it's like what is it? Morbius, like, it's gonna be Morbius is gonna be interesting but worrying at the same time because I don't know, man. Like I've been indifferent about Morbius ever since they announced it. Uh you say he did everything except the side missions. Yeah, I mean I was doing a little bit of everything, more or less, and it's so far I really been enjoying this game, but granted I enjoy the Spider-Man games in general, so uh it's definitely the game has definitely been a blast. Like I can't wait for the second game to come out next year, straight up. And but it's definitely been it's definitely been a ride, and it's like one of the things I really enjoyed was like the different nuances that between playing with uh Miles and playing with Peter. It's been like really fun, really fun. And let's see, I think I went on ahead and got, okay, we're up and running now. Let's see. So I have it for PS4 when it came out, and I just got my PS5. I'm like, yo. Let's see. You have a PS4, got it when it came out. I just got my PS4, so I can't play it. No, I think that game. I think it has a free. If I remember correctly, I think it has a free upgrade if you got a PS5. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it does. Like I think the only thing you would have to pay for is the remastered version of the original game, if I think so. But yes, Into the Spider Verse is on its way. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So here we go. Let's go ahead and switch over to the game. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we ready to go now. All right. Oh goodness. I am just now realizing I only made it like 36% through the game.
Oh wow, Spider-Man! I gotta go.
Real scary what the underground did at that bridge. Makes you wonder what
All
else
right.
they got.
I think the last thing I did was, what did I do? I think,
Hey friends, some news.
uh-oh.
Feast North, the satellite branch in Harlem, is shutting down.
Oh, damn.
Details on why are spotty, but I've heard that a flood made the building unlivable. If you're able to donate money, time, blankets, or food, it would really help the people who will be displaced.
Bruh, one of the things that
Today's
like
advice,
I thought
lining your
was
trash can
extremely
with
dope
paper
in
will
here,
help
if you
absorb
notice
silt.
me playing this
I
game,
suggest using one of J. Jonah Jameson's books.
I unlocked
Okay, bye.
the Into the Spider-Verse animation for him, because you notice the frame rate. If you notice the frame rate on there, it's him. It's literally the Into the Spider-Verse animations, or like rather the frame rate. And I've been stuck on this ever since I found out I could do that, because I thought I was tripping the first time I unlocked it.
How can they have a shootout with this many civilians around?
Oh damn.
You gotta step in.
Okay.
You can just talk this out in a public forum. Let's say like a city council meeting.
Oh, nope. Take that back. I don't want it. Quit playing. Stay down. Y'all gonna stop with that real Spider-Man shit. I know that. I got y'all real Spider-Man. Ow. Miss me. Oops. You shot your boy. Oh, ow. Your mom. Go to sleep. Uh-oh. Your mama ain't got nothing. Go to sleep, sir. Done with you.
Underground's here.
Nope. Too fast for you. All right. Anyone else? Oh, crap. Okay. All right.
Ready to fire.
It's kind of weird when you do, like the way PlayStation has got it, like you kind of have to go through extra steps to get the upgrade. It's kind of annoying. Like, it's easy but annoying. But you obviously have to... Where's he at? Where are you? I still see him. I still hear someone, but... Oh, he's here. Oh, there you are.
Dead man swinging, Spidey. Just a matter of time.
Oh, you're stuck in the car. Oh, that's great. How do... Okay. Let's... There we go.
Got him.
All right.
Street side shootout.
There goes that.
City protected.
All right. So there goes there. There goes that. No problem, Dirty Bubba. Glad to help, sir. Okay, so we were going this way. Might as well go ahead to the story mission. Because I have no idea what the other side missions were. I completely forgot.
Roxxon Research Labs.
Oh boy.
This is where the
Roxxon
whole new
involved,
film
it's
project
never
got
good.
started. Finn's phone's in there somewhere. And I think I just found my way in.
So he just found out what happened between her and her brother. Is it just like a... Let me see. Oops.
That's exactly how I like it. That Finn has high voltage shooting. Wonder what powers it.
Oh, damn.
Gotta disable it somehow.
Okay.
2 more hours till shift change.
So am I putting these boys to sleep? I assume.
Checking the perimeter. Hey! Taking the shot! Target is airborne! How's this stuff so...
Rhythm.
Okay. Now to get into the
So
building.
I have what seems to be called the... I forgot what they call this effect.
Charge things up. Wonder if I can power things down too.
The orb of electricity makes sense.
Absorbing energy fried the generator. I can't believe that actually worked.
All right, in we go.
And I'm in.
Uh-oh, okay.
Got it.
Excuse me? Through the vent I go. And...
Breaking into a lab full of armed guards. Christmas break sure is different this year. Should be at home, taking naps, playing a ton of video games, and eating like 100 Christmas cookies. Which way?
if only, buddy. Alright, Oh. Iron? Or was it RGN? What the? Okay. Looks like it leads some damn where. I totally webbed that the first time.
Did I just go in a circle? The guy who installed that was clearly padding his resume.
Alright. This is incredibly detailed. Like, that's one thing I always enjoyed about these Spider-Man games, is how incredibly detailed they are. And it's not like even like a 100%
Tracker said
like
the phone was pretty far
full
below ground
game.
level.
Like, it's still technically a full game, but not really. I always forget that this is a thing that I can do.
Uh-oh.
Got a report of a breach through the outer exhaust system. If it's underground, kill them. Spider-Man or Tinkerer, detain them.
Ain't nobody here. Woo.
Hey, kid.
Oh. Hey.
What's so funny?
Damn, Miles. For a skinny-ass kid, you hit hard.
Uncle Aaron? You're the
Okay.
Prowler? My dad had a foul on you.
I know. And I bet you got a lot of questions right now. But we need to get out of here. You picked the wrong place to break into.
I'm not leaving till I find what I came for.
Listen,
Oh, wow.
I did some work for Roxxon a while back. You don't want to mess with these guys. If we get caught in here,
Then help me.
stubborn as your father. All right, but we do this my way. I know a place I can access a security terminal. Let you know what's coming.
Well, at least they're still following the thing.
Remote mines. Use them if you get in a jam. Don't get caught. See that vent with the
Uncle
laser
Aaron.
shielding?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
I've worked with systems like this before. Now focus.
Looks like a good time to try out those remote mines.
What's going on with the cameras? More power outages?
Nah, that was in Harlem.
Okay, remote
Rhino
mine can
took
be
out a
used to
whole
shock
power
a group of
plant.
enemies
Could have messed with more than one
or to
neighborhood.
overload overhead highlighted fuse boxes for bonus damage. Okay, that makes
Roxxon's
sense.
no worse than anyone else. Think we're secure.
Okay. Should I wait till somebody gets closer, or do I just do it? I guess I should just do it,
Last
maybe?
thing we need is another security leak.
Should I just do it? Probably. I don't know. Alright, screw it.
Hang on, I got something. Hope it stays quiet.
Oh, God!
What is it you're looking for?
A phone. I tracked the signal. It's coming from somewhere deep underground.
Lowest point in the building is at the bottom of the reactor silo.
Then that's where I'm headed.
There's no other way to...
Spider-Man's in this sector. Eyes
Underground
open.
kids don't stand a chance.
Need
How
some
you know
cover.
that was me? How you know that was Spider-Man?
Need some backup.
Let's see.
Eyes peeled. He's here somewhere.
Am I?
Lead the way.
Alright. It's only 3 of these jokers left, so...
Keep moving. Stay ready to engage.
Ooh, the gut to the stomach
Lights
hurt.
out for you.
Someone get eyes on him.
Let me see. Oh yeah, he good.
Weapons hot. Let's flush him out.
You're done. X Factor. What's good, cuz? Good night.
Should be a vent in that room. Leads to a lab, then the reactor.
Like a new form reactor?
It's what these schematics say. Yeah.
In and out I go. Uh-oh.
Hey,
Crew cut.
where's the new form I asked for?
We're trying to make more, but Mason didn't leave behind any notes.
And?
Well, I had heard that one canister of new form survived the incident on the bridge. Now, if we had access to that,
Don't you think that if I had it, I would give it to you?
Yes, Mr. Krieger. I just want to make it clear that without that canister, it will be impossible to hit
Shut
the
up.
deadline.
I'm doing everything in my considerable power to find that canister. However, right now, it would help me for you to go back to your lab and do your damn job.
It sounds to me like he is, and you're just being
Krieger's on a
ungrateful
deadline.
douche.
So you're gonna tell me whose phone you're looking for?
Tinkerers. You gonna tell me why you're stalking me?
To protect you. You should feel honored. I came out of retirement to watch your back.
Can't believe my uncle's the Prowler.
And I can't believe my nephew's risking his neck for a phone. Let's get on with it.
None of these kids.
You're close to the reactor prototype. Need to take these guys out.
Don't like being this close to the reactor. Last guy who had this post started hacking up a lung. Wonder how much my insurance covers. Or workers' comp. Knowing Roxxon? Not much. Worth the pay, though. I'll give him that.
Everyone go alert. We've got a man down.
Oh Lord. What happened? Why'd he go out?
Think we're secure.
Pick the area for Spider-Man. Bring him on. Get back up here.
Oh,
Nap
that's takedown
bro.
was so nice.
Requesting backup. I'm on site.
Yeah.
When you find the target, neutralize him.
Yeah, about
Gotta watch
that.
out for spiders, man.
Let's see. Okay, I ain't got
Keep
nobody.
searching. He's here somewhere.
Good night.
Nice work.
Thanks.
Silo's just on the other side of that blast sheet. Use that terminal to open it up.
Open,
Wait a
open,
sec.
open.
There's more labs around the city? With a new form reactor in each one. New form made Rick sick.
More side missions.
I need to shut these down.
More side
Focus.
missions.
Get the phone and get out of there. Get moving. Security will show up soon. Reactors below. Powers this whole facility.
Phone's all the way at the bottom. It looks like I need to figure out a way past that fan. And all those guys, too.
Remember what I said. Don't get caught.
Alright. Should be simple enough. You got to mark everybody. There's you.
Once all the reactors are in, people will stop complaining.
Really?
Bet you didn't see that coming.
Go to sleep.
We need another perimeter check.
I knew I could do it.
There you go. You're done, sir.
Out for the count.
Checking perimeter.
You're done.
Here. Hi, Genki.
Just calling to make sure you're not hurt, or, you know, dead.
Thanks. Actually, got my uncle here helping me.
The subway worker guy?
Yeah. Turns out, he's also the Prowler. Long story.
Wait, the Prowler? The thief who runs around in purple?
Former thief. We're not partnering. It's just a one-time thing.
Your uncle's the Prowler. That's a lot, man. Like, a lot.
I know. I gotta go, Genki. I'll fill you in later.
Alright. I got him marked. Got you. Got you. Oh. And you. Go to sleep.
Easier than I thought.
Patrolling sector.
Alright.
Gotta stay alert.
Stand by. Might have something.
Continuing sweep.
You're done.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
Bang.
Another one bites the dust.
Spider-Man! Cover me.
I ain't wearing blue. Wearing black and gold, baby. Come on now.
Lights out for you.
Be quick
Alright.
about this, nephew. I'm trying to shut down cameras and alarms to keep more of them from coming. Break the wires above the fan and it should stop.
Thanks. Gotta disable that fan somehow.
Alright. It says I have to break the gears.
There's the fan controls. Dang. Gotta keep them in place somehow.
This is different. Oh, wait. Guess it would make sense.
Yes. Now for the wires.
There we go. Alright. Somebody drop a whole phone down there.
Battery needs a charge. Please don't explode. Nice. Okay. Camera, video. Here it is.
Okay. Core dump's a two-person job. You start to override here. I confirm it there. Step 1 in wiping Nuform from existence.
Any regret? Destroying the thing you made?
You've seen me lately, right? Let's make the world safer.
It's always these big corporations, man.
Ready?
Always.
Ready.
Triggering override in 3, 2...
Ben!
That wasn't me!
Industrial sabotage, Rick? Really? No one's gonna care about a few sick people uptown or a dead engineer. You're just the cost of doing business.
I thought he was about to say something else.
No! No! No!
I can stop it! I can stop this!
Rick, no!
No! Ben! Don't look!
Someone else is in there. Find out.
Rick was trying to save people. And Krieger killed them. I have to finish what they started. Uncle Aaron, can you unlock the reactor shooting from where you are?
Why? You got your phone. Now let's leave.
That reactor killed my friend. It needs to be shut down. Permanently. I need your help, Unc. Please. Uncle Aaron?
Okay. Stand back.
Thanks, Unc. Just like the generator outside! Only huge!
What are you doing? Mom! Alright? You gotta get out of there, man. Can you move?
Yeah.
Go down that hallway. Now!
I feel real bad right now. Like it's tearing me. I can't. I can't hold the energy.
Mom, talk to me, kid. You alright?
I feel like I just got dropped out of a plane. But at least the reactor's disabled.
You're almost out.
I really needed that phone. Now what am I gonna do?
Come on, kid. I can't get to you before Roxxon does.
Too late.
Stand down! We're taking you into custody!
Mama's a man.
They got orders from Captain.
What do they want?
Study you, interrogate you. Don't know, don't care. Just don't let them.
Taking aim.
Oh, that's different.
Ah, damn it.
What?
Miles, I just got booted from the system. Give me a minute. I'll get you out of there.
Got it.
Deploying ordnance.
Heads up!
There you go.
Got him sighted.
Damn.
Stop resisting!
Oh, you son of a biscuit. Well, let's start it over because so it didn't
Taking you
happen.
into custody.
We're almost out. Damn it.
They got orders to capture you.
Why? What do they want?
Study you, interrogate you. Don't know, don't care. Just don't let them.
Neutralizing Spider-Man.
Ah, damn it. Miles, I just got booted from the system. Give me a minute. I'll get you out of there.
Got it.
Don't regret that! You have orders! Capture...
Oh, shut up. Anybody else?
Let's go, before more of them show up.
Whoa. That was super cool cloaking tech. How does it work?
You take the left, I'll take the right. This is bad, Miles. Real bad.
Don't worry. We can take these guys.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about after we get out of here. We're both on Krieger's short list now. Moving in!
No, 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 no! Ah! Damn it.
I'll take the right.
Alright.
This is bad, Miles. Real bad.
Don't worry. We can take these guys.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about after we get out of here. We're both on Krieger's short list now.
Got a lead on him!
Go ahead. Try again.
Oh, nice. Looks like this is a preview of probably teaming up with Peter. Whoa! Bruh, come on. I am getting railroaded here.
This is bad, Miles.
Oh!
Real bad.
Don't worry. We can take these guys.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about after we get out of here. We're both on Krieger's short list now.
What was that?
I'll
Wow,
take the right.
okay.
This is bad, Miles. Real bad.
Don't worry. We can take these guys.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about after we get out of here. We're both on Krieger's short list now.
Sorry. Trade secret.
Keep him on the ground!
Good luck with that.
right! Take cover! Thanks!
Okay, train's almost here. Get ready!
The hell's this skunk-hole?
You need to lay low. Don't trust anybody, and don't take off that mask. Wait till Roxxon finds a better target.
I can't lay low. I still need to find Finn.
Your friend's the Tinkerer. No wonder you care so much about this.
It's not just that. Protecting New York is my job.
Use Finn. Tell her you want to join the Underground.
You just told me don't take off the mask.
Don't tell her you're Spider-Man. Go to her as a friend.
No, she's too smart for that.
You'd be surprised. People get stupid when they care about someone. Like you're being stupid now.
If I told her the truth...
I told your dad the truth. Thought he'd have my back. Hoped he would. And my brother. Instead, he cut me out. If I kept my mouth shut, maybe I'd still have a family. You know what you have to do.
Sucks. I had a feeling that was probably the reason why. Like they kind of, well, excommunicado demand from the family.
Okay, I should call Finn. No. I've got time to check on the city. Yeah.
Miles, you know how many followers you've gained since the app went live? It's crazy. I've been running some numbers, and I know you said no to ads before, but maybe we could reconsider?
No.
Right. No, of course not. Just saying. So did you find Finn's phone?
Yeah, but it melted after I absorbed energy from a new form reactor.
Wait, what? How are you not dead?
Felt like it was for a minute there. But then I released all the energy in kind of a mini explosion. Luckily, I didn't bring down the whole lab.
Have I done this? Nope. Traverse Challenge 1.1. 10 hits, 50 hits. Ah. Makes sense. Underground cache. I still got a lot of stuff to pick up. Still have a lot of things to pick up.
Man, I gotta start taking notes on all your new powers. So, what's the plan now?
Uncle Aaron thinks I should tell Finn I want to join the Underground. Then I could take the new form so she doesn't use it for whatever.
Whoa, like, lie to her face?
Yeah, but I don't have any other leads.
You know what we need?
Don't say a pros and cons list.
A pros and cons list, exactly.
I gotta make a move, man.
I guess. Well, good luck. Call if you need me.
Over there! Got him! Shoot him! With pleasure! Out of your league!
Wow.
Nowhere to run, Spider-Man! Got him! Firing! Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this!
Cut it out.
Damn, that stuff's strong!
sleep now?
Whew, done. Hope there aren't any more convicts loose. Thieves are targeting Harlem businesses.
Alright, let's what is this? Vibe diverse. Let's try a different power now. Quick case cuts the force when underground. Attacks after perfect. I could use it. I'm assuming this means that either I can upgrade them. I think this means I can upgrade them. I can unlock some. All right. Okay, let's see here. I still got a lot more stuff to do. Boop, bop, ba-da, bop. Okay.
Might be the same guys who went after Teos. Okay, I gotta do it. Call Finn, get her to let me in the underground.
Hey, Miles. You okay?
Yeah. Why would you say that?
Oh, I saw the news about your mom's rally.
We're fine. Do you have time to get coffee, maybe?
Yep.
I can make time. There's a place on Edison,
What's up,
near
Keenan?
Fisk Tower. They don't do phone
Not like I'm
art,
affiliate or
but
anything,
people
so
don't
it's no
take
problem.
pictures of their lattes, so worth it.
Okay, meet you there. Okay, halfway into infiltrating a dangerous group of criminals. Cool, cool.
Look!
Spider-Man, hey. I'm Caleb. Good to meet you. Saw your mural at Teo's.
Oh, that's the other guy. But I'm still here to help.
Every business on this block's had inventory stolen over the last few weeks. Paper products, kits, sanitizers. We're all local. We can't swallow a loss like that.
Did you report it?
Sure, but no one's taking us seriously. Camila, she runs the restaurant next door. Decided to look into it herself. Went down to the shipping center that supplies all of us.
I'll meet her there, see if I can help.
Thanks, Spider-Man. Good to have you looking out for us.
So, considering all the stuff I covered, I'm probably only gonna do a couple of missions and call it a night, and probably just start fresh sometime tomorrow.
On Harlem's
Hopefully.
main strip. Caleb's Clean Cuts and Pana Fuerte.
Oh, I love Pana Fuerte. Did you try the arepas?
I can't eat before I do intense superheroing. It's kind of like pool rules.
Right, totally. So, what's the plan?
Track down the stolen inventory, find out who did it, see if it's connected to the guys who robbed Teo's bodega.
Sounds good. I'm on call for tech, map, and thinking through problem support.
This'll make something useful.
All right. Another one? Other direction.
That's the shipping center that supplies Kalo's block.
That's easy.
I need this way more than you do, Underground. Cops? What's going on?
Witness said a woman was stuffed in a trunk after arguing with some ex-con types. We got an ID?
From an Oscorp cam. Camila Vasquez owns Pana Fuerte in Harlem.
Oh my god. They kidnapped Camila. I had to try and find her, but cops won't like me interfering. Maybe if I get a look at the clues. Camila definitely fought back. Need to figure out where they took her. Parking garage receipt. Chinatown. Okay. But where in Chinatown?
Overtime. We're always short-staffed around the holidays. Someone's got to volunteer. And you're the only one with, you can say it, without a family. Sorry.
Dude's in the way. Yes. Now I can get a look at that clue. Jacket from David's Complete Auto Repair. Someone dropped it when they peeled out. Hey, you know where I could find David's Complete Auto Repair?
There's 12 of them in Manhattan.
Any in Chinatown?
Yep. Sending you the address.
Okay.
radio from Chinatown. A woman matching our Vic's description, seen in an alley. Let's move.
Hey, Spider-Man. Any leads on our inventory?
Yeah. The guys who stole it, I think Camila caught them in the act. They kidnapped her.
What? You're sure?
Positive. I'm on my way to help her.
Let's
Good
go.
thing you came by when you did, Spider-Man. Thank you.
Get the hell away from me!
Cops! Everybody go!
No, no, no! Just let Camila go!
Am I seeing this right? Camila's in that car?
Yes!
That's speeding through Manhattan? Dangerously close to crashing?
Yes!
Oh my god.
Camila, please be safe. They're getting away!
How's that car going so damn fast?
Gotta
You
keep
going
up.
faster than me.
Please be okay, Camila. Hang on, Camila. Come on, come on. I'm gonna save you, Camila. Camila, you okay in there?
Please!
Why that phone was hard to catch?
Need to get that trunk open.
Please, help me!
Are you okay, ma'am?
Spider-Man, I didn't expect you to. But those men,
It's okay now.
You
You're
good,
safe.
man. You good.
those men were paid to steal our inventory. Drive us out of business. They're holding it at the docks on FDR, near the bridge.
I'll get your stuff back. Do you need help getting home?
No. I can call a cab. Gracias. You saved my life, sir.
Yankee, Camila's safe. She caught those guys stealing inventory. Said someone paid them to do it.
About that, I did some digging. Someone anonymously filed a request with the city to use eminent domain powers and condemn Camila and Caleb's block.
Has to be the guy paying our criminals, right? So he can move in?
Totally. I put in a counter request asking for an investigation into whoever's trying to buy the land.
Dude, you're a genius. I'm headed to the docks to get the supplies back. Call you soon.
All right.
Crates.
Stuff done.
Crates. More crates. Where'd they hide the supplies?
All right.
Bet those guys know. If I listen in,
This is a
I
much
can figure
longer
out which
mission I
crate to
thought
open.
it'd be. I think I'm gonna try to finish this one and then I'll be done for the night.
Can't let them see me.
Be careful. sure I mark everybody. Where is... That's one. I gotta hit a conversations?
What do you think he's gonna build on the land? Apartments, maybe. Office space? Gonna run drugs out of them? Probably. Good way to make money quick.
Not in my neighborhood, it's not.
Listen to these jokers.
Don't know if I'm gonna keep working for the big guy once he's settled in Harlem. Why not? It's good money. Some of what he wants to do don't sit right with me. Drugs, fine. Rackets, sure. But he kills people. Didn't know you was
I wonder if it's
squeamish.
Hammerhead or Tombstone.
Gotta draw the
coming
line
back.
somewhere.
Not what I need.
Guess we're trying to figure out who the big guy, quote unquote, is. Alright, where these jokers at? Alright, talk to the dudes there. Okay, it's two groups of dudes.
What are you planning to do with that stuff? Barber shears? Napkin holders?
Probably dump it. You can get started if you want. Green crate with the white star.
Got it. Now I can take these guys down.
Green crate with white star. I don't have any. Go to sleep. You're done. Right. Still haven't got it done yet. Concussion for days. There's two more of these jokers.
Harlem 1. Alpha guys working for mystery boss? 0. Now to find the goods. Green container, white star. That's it. Supplies should be in there. Blocked by other crates. Could use that crane.
Okay.
Need to lock the gear. Got it. And now to get that inventory out of the crate.
There's Spider-Man! Get him!
For real? More of you? Your boss gave you rocket launchers? This guy's serious. Not letting you guys run a bunch of nice people out of business. Well, you gotta shut down a barbershop. We need those.
Boss said kill him!
I am so ready for you guys to be out of Harlem.
Don't let him walk away from this!
Sit your ass down. All right. I think we're done here. I think we're done.
This is it. All the stolen supplies. Hey, Caleb. Found your inventory. Bring a few trucks down to the docks, and I hope you move it back.
We were ready to file for bankruptcy and close our doors for good. Because of you,
help the little
we're back
guy.
on our feet. Thank you. 1,000 times. Thank you. You ever need a haircut, drop by. It's on the house.
How would that work with the mask?
I've seen stranger.
Oye, you need food too. You're a growing boy. Mira, come by Pana Fuerte anytime. We'll wrap up something nice for you, okay?
Appreciate it, both of you.
Everyone on the block feels the same. You've done us good, Spider-Man.
Doing good work out there, Spider-Man.
With your help. Any leads on our mystery guy?
Yeah, I'm working on a short list. So far I've got Vulture, Scorpion, Tombstone. Don't think Electro could pull off something like this.
That's a lot of big names. But we'll deal. I want him out of our neighborhood.
Aw, it's the first time you've called it ours.
Don't make it weird.
Too late.
Alright. What'd I do? Oh, level up. Steal the points. Let's see. Patient spider, increase them. Venom Punch does. It's interesting. Crowd control. It sounds like a nice ability. Oh yeah, that's definitely useful. Alright, I'm just gonna upgrade a few things and I think I'm gonna call it a night, guys. Just try to take a look at my inventory. Gosh, I gotta do a lot of side stuff. You know, I think what I'm probably gonna end up doing is I'm probably gonna try to get a lot of the side stuff out of the way. That way I can at least focus on the story next time I play. Cause there's a lot to do. There really is. And I'm gonna have to do a lot of side missions to upgrade my stuff. The more prepared I can be, the better. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for tonight, guys. So yeah, tonight was actually pretty nice. Testing some things out, going with a little different format. It was fun. It was really fun. Hopefully I get a chance to do it soon and do it again soon. And I will see you all the next time I stream. For those that saw me on YouTube, thanks. For those that saw me on Twitch, thank you. For those that saw me on Facebook, also thank you. I don't know if anyone, I don't think anyone saw me on Twitter. I'm still trying to figure Twitter out, if that's even possible, but we'll see. You know, it is what it is. We'll see. But again, I thank everyone who came through, and I hope you all have a good night. You guys take care. Keep following my advice to go nerd, but nerd responsibly, and I will see you guys in the next one. This is your friendly neighborhood Blurred, the Fallen Marvel signing off. Take care, guys. Be safe.